6 big rival games. We have probably the best Thursday night game of 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Week 14 NFL season is upon us. What a Thursday night game we have. We have the 10-2 Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, soon to be possibly going into Kansas City, play the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 9-3. Growing up an hour north of Kansas City, Raider week was always that week that just you knew what was coming. You know, the vibe changed. You know, the Raiders fans came in. You knew it was going to be just a down and dirty, in the trenches, black and white, or kind of game. You just knew what was going to happen. Obviously, these two teams have had a storied rivalry. This is the 116th game in this rivalry. October 16th, Kansas City went into Oakland and won 26-10. So that's the 116th game. Out of the 115 previous games, Kansas City is 59-51-2. KC has won 6 out of the last 7. Kansas City obviously favored at home. Thursday night home team typically wins. The last Thursday night game between these two was in Oakland, and Oakland won. That was in November 2014. Kansas City is favored by 3 here, with an over-under of 46. Oakland plus 3. The Raiders go into Kansas City, cover the 3 points, under on the 46. It'll be the best Thursday night game of the year. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-5 versus 6-6 Buffalo Bills. Pittsburgh tied with Baltimore for the AFC North title. So they need to, obviously they don't hold the tiebreaker against them right now. Baltimore does. So Pittsburgh needs a victory here, needs to keep winning. Buffalo 2 games behind the Broncos in the wild card. Pittsburgh favored by 2 on the road. I did winning, covering, and over on the 47. San Diego Chargers are 5-7. The Los Angeles Chargers, sure, versus the Carolina Panthers at 4-8. We have a defending the defending NFC champion who lost in the Super Bowl 4-8. I guess that Super Bowl hangover they talk about. I thought that was more for the winners. I mean, this team it's like Carolina got so hyped by winning the NFC Championship game. Such a big letdown losing the Super Bowl that it's like persona losing kind of just brought him down, you know? Sad. Carolina favored by 1 at home. I got them winning, covering under on the 48. Hopefully they can get back to their winning ways. Against the Chargers, 5-7. All they really have is Phillip Rivers. So the time, they need pieces to build around. Yeah, that's what this next game is. Cincinnati Bengals 4-7-1 versus the 0-12 Cleveland Browns. Bengals have the 8th worst record in the NFL. Cleveland has the worst record in the NFL. This is actually a very storied rivalry itself. 87th meeting between these two teams. Cincinnati's 47-39. Cincinnati's won 3 straight. No reason that won't continue. These kind of rivals are better when both teams are good, like any other rival, like Oakland, Kansas City. When one team is good, one team is bad, it takes away from it. When they're both good and they're both like this, like Thursday night, they're both fighting for a playoff spot. They're fighting for the division, they're fighting for a playoff spot. It makes the rivalry bigger, better. Like this is kind of like, it's Cleveland and Cincinnati, huh? Cincinnati favored by 6. I have the winning covered under the 43.5. Next we have the 3-9 Chicago Bears. Yeah. God, they're bad. Versus the Detroit Lions 8-4. Yeah. Speaking of a good team, last week Matthew Stafford, Golden Tate. Yeah. Picked them up in fantasy. Got a victory. Sitting in the playoffs right now. Another rival here. Detroit leading the NFC North. This is the 174th meeting between the two teams. Chicago 97, 71, and 5. Detroit's won 6 out of the last 7. They won 6 straight, and then Chicago won the last one. And before that, Chicago won 11 to 14. Chicago not landing here, I don't believe. Just Stafford and Golden Tate just 2 in sync right now. The offense is clicking. Detroit victory. I had them covering the 7.5 and over on the 43.5. Next, we have the battle for the AFC South. We have 3 teams tied at 6-6: Tennessee, and then Houston Texans at 6-6 versus the Indianapolis Colts at 6-6. There's a little short rivalry. Indy's had Houston's number 23-6 out of 29 games. Houston's won 2 straight though. I just think Andrew Luck is playing the way Andrew Luck should play. Brock Osweiler is not. Indy's favored by 6 at home. I got them winning, covering over on the 47. What happened to the Minnesota Vikings? Just 5-0, 1 win in their last 7. I can't explain it. I mean, hopefully they can get back on the winning ways here, make the playoffs after a great 5-0 start. Jackson versus Jacksonville Jaguars. That's how I feel about Jacksonville. 2-10. Minnesota only 1 game out of the wild card. So that's hope. Victory here. Should get a victory over Jacksonville. Minnesota favored by 3.5, and then winning covering and over on the 39. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals 5-6-1 versus the Miami Dolphins 7-5. Miami's on the outside looking into the AFC playoff picture right now, tied with Denver for that last spot. Arizona, they got a lot ahead of them. They win the playoffs. They're out 3 games out in the division, but Seattle should have that division wrapped up. They are 1.5 games out in the wild card, but there's 4 teams ahead of them. Miami favored by 1 at home. I have them winning, covering over in the 43.5. Next, we have the NFC East rivals of the Washington Redskins 6-5-1 versus the 5-7 Philadelphia Eagles. 166th meeting in this storied history. Redskins 85, 74, and 6. Redskins have won 4 straight. Unfortunately, right now it's a battle for last place in the NFC East. Dallas is just running away with that division. The line on this game is even. Okay. Picking Philadelphia at home and under on the 46.5. Next, we have the Denver Broncos 8-4 versus the Tennessee Titans at 6-6. Obviously, somebody has to win between Houston and Indy. Actually, that game could end in a tie. So both of those seem to be 6-1. And then Tennessee, they're going to lose to Denver, would be 6-7. So they're going to be a half a game out. Maybe this game ends in a tie and the 3 division leaders still tied. Yeah, no. 2 ties in NFL games with no, that's not going to happen. Denver, 2 games out in the division, but sitting there in 6th place in the AFC playoff picture. Tennessee favored by 1 at home. Denver +1, covering at 43.5. New York Jets 3-9 versus San Francisco 49ers at 1-11. The 4th worst team in the league and the 2nd worst team in the league. Niners favored by 2.5 at home. Fitzpatrick is better. Or no, sorry, Bryce Petty starting the last 4 games. Bryce Petty versus the. You know what the hell? New York Jets +2.5 over the Niners, under on the 44.5. New Orleans Saints 5-7 versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7-5. NFC North matchup here. 48th meeting with these 2 teams. The Saints 30-17. Saints won 2 out of the last 3. Tampa is currently the 6th and final team in the NFC wildcard, and they're tied for the NFC North with the Atlanta Falcons. So a lot of momentum on Jameis Winston's side here. Victory would be great. He's favored by Buccaneers are favored by 2.5 at home. I have them winning, covering, and over on 51. This game's actually gotten better within recent weeks. We have Seattle Seahawks 8-3-1 versus the Green Bay Packers at 6-6. Feels like I've seen this before. Seattle leading the NFC North, or NFC West. Green Bay is one out in the wild card, tied with Minnesota at 6-6. Seattle favored by 2.5 in Lambeau. Green Bay plus 2.5. They get the Lambeau faithful behind them. Packers win, cover the 2.5 and under 46.5. The Atlanta Falcons at 7-5 versus the another mediocre season by the Los Angeles Rams, currently 4-8. Can they get to 7-9, 6-10? Doubt it. Don't know what the problem is in LA. Just Jeff Fisher's the losing. I think if he loses here, he ties for the most losses by head coach in the NFL history, which means you have to coach a long time and have a lot of bad teams. Falcons favored by 6 on the road. They win. They cover under on the 45. Is Jared Goff that good? Was he worth the number 1 draft pick? Currently say, I don't think so, Scooter. Who knows? Maybe that's what the Rams do. Maybe when the new stadium 2018 gets built, they fire Jeff Fisher. They bring in Jim Bob Cooter. New stadium, new head coach, new philosophy. Maybe it's the new Los Angeles Rams. We'll just have to see. Sunday night. They should have. The Monday night game looks pretty good too. We have the 11-1 Dallas Cowboys going into New York City, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. The New York Football Giants 8-4. 110th meeting between these two historical franchises. Dallas leads 62-45-2. The Giants have won 2 straight. Dallas has won 6 out of the last 7 before that. Both teams look locked in. I wouldn't say locked in. There's nobody locked in, but both teams look, ready to make the playoffs here. Playoff push. We have the NFC number 1 team at 2.5 games. The Dallas Cowboys, winners of 11 straight with 2 rookies, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Ooh, what a duo. Giants currently number 5, the number 1 wildcard team. 1 game over Tampa Bay. If I looked at it correctly, and the right things happen, this could actually be a playoff preview for the second round of the playoffs. We'll see. If I looked at it correctly, because if Tampa's 6, Giants are 5, it would be 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5 in the playoffs. Giants would have to upset victory over whoever the 4th seed is, probably the Falcons. And then the 3rd seed would have to beat Buccaneers. Dallas would have number 1 seed, Seattle number 2. Then the worst record goes to Dallas. So this would be in Dallas for the playoff. So I got Dallas winning this, covering the 3 points, over on 47.5. I think the 2 rookies keep right on them winning. I think they go to make the playoffs. I think they have a deep run in the playoffs. And then I think at draft time, Tony Romo gets traded. Arizona possibly. We'll see. I think the future of the Cowboys are in Dak Prescott's hands, and it's a very bright future with him and Ezekiel Elliott. On Monday Night Football, we have the Baltimore Ravens at 7-5 versus the 10-2 New England Patriots. With everything going on in the college football playoffs right now and how dominant Alabama has, I think Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide are the New England Patriots of college football. I think New England Patriots are the Alabama Crimson Tide of the NFL. do the two comparisons because these two programs, the NFL, New England Patriots, Alabama Crimson Tide of college football, no matter what happens, it seems like they keep winning. Best player, one of the top quarterbacks on the planet, Tom Brady, misses 4 games. New England goes 3-1. If it wasn't for injuries, I think they could have went 4-0. Ruffalo and what's his name wasn't hurt. I think they could have went 4-0. They went 3-1. Alabama, obviously, college, you turn your rosters over consistently. Here they are undefeated. Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, two of the most brilliant planners, minds, and head coaching. Patriots, here we are, tied for the best record in the NFL, 10-2. Facing the Baltimore Ravens team that's 7-5, tied for the AFC North with Pittsburgh. I don't say it's a must win, but you don't want to get a game behind a team like Pittsburgh, because once they get on a roll and Big Ben starts clicking and Antonio Brown starts to click in and Le'Veon Bell, they're hard to stop. New England favored by a touchdown at home, and then winning, covering under 45. So that will wrap up NFL week number 14. Season is just banging and clanging on. Before we know it, it'll be over. We'll be starting another one. Obviously, previewing the rest of the NFL season here on the Robert Sports Show. We're going to have a bowl preview for the NCAA season. We're going to have pro wrestling year-round. We're going to have some NASCAR stuff first of the year before the Daytona 500. We'll have, shortly after NASCAR gets started, we'll probably have something MLB before the season starts. We'll have NCAA March Madness. That's a wild time to get videos up. Whew. Do videos in my car at the gym. Did it a couple of years ago. We'll do it this year too, probably. Do as many videos as I think I can. So make sure you check them all out. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great night. Have an American night.